GearNetwork.com.
This is a Gear Network production.
It's Get Ready America on the Gear Radio Network.
You know, I just absolutely love pre-show with you, Dawn.
Do you?
I mean, we're not, pre-recording, I should say. We've kind of gone away from the pre-show format, but I absolutely love doing it because I can be very silly with you, and you just sit there and you give me this look of, like, disgust but happiness at the same time.
I don't know where the happiness comes in.
You get that little...
I think it's pretty much just disgust.
Why would you be disgusted with me?
Because you... Just because.
Just because? That's awful. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Get Ready America. It is episode 37. Happy New Year, by the way. This is the first episode of 2016. We had a very long holiday break, and it was wonderful. But we are back. We are back to do our thing. And Dawn, how the hell are you?
I'm great. How the hell are you, John?
Oh, I am ready for a follow-up story. That's right.
I bet.
I am. I certainly am, you know. And I don't know if we'll kick that off with that, or maybe we'll just talk a little bit and then get into it. I don't know. Okay. I'm going to get that ready because I'm sure when I start shooting about it and start talking about it, I might drop a few guys.
Yeah, I'm probably going to fall asleep.
You're not going to fall asleep, as I want your honest opinion on it. Well, you knew. Oh, what the hell? We'll get into it. It was a few years. It was last year, a few episodes ago, where I made mention of a wrestling situation that turned personal, and where the owner of a certain promotion in this area decided to be funny because I was critical of their product and called the real 9 to 5 and attempted to get me fired. I was very, very angry and very vocal about that. And as were you. You were very vocal about it too, Chip Stetson. You had it in stitches with some of your comments there, Don. In that episode, I said that I was going to give that person X amount of time to fess up to it, because I at that point, I said I knew who did it. I was 95% certain. 98% certain.
Right.
That I knew who did it. And I gave that person the opportunity to speak up and say what they were going and say why they did it. Mm-hmm. You laughed at that idea and said that they can't because how embarrassing would it be for them to find out?
Right.
For them to go, and I ended it by saying, you're going to slip up. If you don't say it, you're going to slip it up to somebody, and that somebody's going to give up the boss on you. Mm-hmm. Well, Terry Cadillac of UW, you thought I wouldn't find out. You thought that you were being slick. You thought that you were being, I don't know what the hell you thought you were doing, or you thought you were attempting to accomplish with that. But the term fighting fire with fire, okay, that's one thing. If you would have gone and contacted Gear Network's HR, which would have been pretty funny if you attempted to say that I was giving them a bad name, that would be okay. That would be the equivalent of me going after UW. I never dropped your real name. I never dropped your address or your shady business that you do outside.
And, not for nothing, but that still wouldn't be the equivalent.
No.
You didn't call HR. We talked about a wrestling product. That would be no different than me talking about what happened on WWE last week and how shitty the matches were. It's no different.
No,
so if he wanted to talk about our podcast and how crappy our podcast was and how much it sucked and how stupid what we talked about was, that would be the equivalent.
Right. And the fact of the matter is that he did not like what was said on my Twitter. He did not like what was said on Facebook. He did not like what was said on the podcast. But he crossed the line. That is absolutely positively what it was. So I'll give you the story because I know the exact story. I know exactly how it broke down. I know who told who what. So here we go. Al Scott is Terry's right-hand man, former UW commissioner, the guy that actually, out of the two of them, he was the one that paid me for my appearances there years ago when I actually wrestled and wrestled at UW. Al Scott was the one that paid me, okay? Al Scott was the one that provided Terry the information because, conveniently enough, Al Scott in the shoot life works in the same company. So it was very easy for him to assume that things were being done during business hours or whatever the freak. Oh, I said this was going to be sort of uncensored now, HBO style, but whatever the fuck bullshit that they story that they came up with. Okay, Al Scott was the one that told Terry where I worked, and then Terry decides to call this place and come up with this elaborate story about how I am representing their company, doing it on company time, and which is amazing to me because, Terry, I'm salaried.
It's beyond silly. And
it's silly. It's
ridiculous.
Stupid. If you would have seen the look on HR's face when they were trying to explain this to me.
I can only imagine.
Like, they had this look on their face like, why am I even doing this? And I looked at them and I said, that's a very good question.
Right, because if I had to take that call in HR, I don't know that I could have seriously even taken it. I probably would have been like, first off, is this a joke?
Right.
Are you serious? And what do you expect me to do about it? And grow a set of balls and get on with your life and stop wearing a pink freaking boa, you pussy.
Right. Well, it's not only is it a pink boa, but it is a pink, pink robe and this and that. And bottom line is this. Like I said before, Terry, you crossed a line. You did. Okay? I have said flat out that if you have a problem with JC Money, if you have a problem with the persona, the entertainment persona, you come after me, okay? You come after me. Instead, what you did was you attempted to, I don't know, I really don't know. I don't understand your logic, so Terry, I'm offering you the opportunity. I will give you the number to this podcast, because I'm sure you don't want to face me face to face because you're too much of chicken shit to do that, but I will give you the phone number to this podcast. You can call in. I promise you on everything that I am. I will not censor anything out. You will have the forum to air your grievances. You can say whatever the hell you want. I will put it up there, and I will give you your fair opportunity. And it's certainly not because of ratings. It's not because of ratings because, quite honestly, if anything, I'm doing you the favor. I'm giving you the rub. I'm giving the UW product the rub by constantly mentioning your shitty promotion. And you, as a shitty businessman, doing shitty business for that shitty promotion. Okay? So, I'm going to give you the forum. Officially now. Not this subtle, I'm going to let him come out and say what he wants to say kind of thing. No. I'm giving it to you. I'm offering it to you. You are welcome. I will give you the number. You can call in, and you can have a chat with me verbally. Because you won't do it face-to-face. And I know you won't do it face-to-face, because, again, you're a chicken shit. So, you can explain yourself. You can save whatever tiny little bit of dignity you might have in this area. Because I know you did it. You did it to Chris Gullo. You did it to Jonathan Ash. You did it to whoever came after you. Whoever criticized your product. If Danny Wegman and the CEO of Time Warner actually gave a crap about what I said about a few of their products online, what would they be doing? I'm just so flustered by this because it's so fucking stupid.
It's the dumbest situation. It really is. Like, I can't even think of an equivalent for it because it is just so stupid. It is like the most ridiculous thing I can think of. Like, you didn't talk bad to somebody about us. He didn't come to you. He went to your job.
Right.
And tried to tell your job something that they're not even going to care about anyways. It's really so stupid. And I would love, whether it be a phone call, a message, you tell somebody who tells us because you're too much of a whatever. to come say it. I don't care. Like, I'm very curious what went through his head to make him think that was such a good idea. That was really going to stick it to him.
I'm gonna show, you know what? I'm going to show JC money. That's right. I'm going to go and I'm going to call his job and I'm going to tell him what? Here, do me a favor, Terry. Prove to me that everything I did was quote unquote on the clock. If you know my time, if you know everything about me outside of the entertainment persona, I want you to prove it to me, because it would be a wonderful thing to prove you wrong yet again, you piece of shit.
But the fact that it even matters whether you've done it while you were supposed to be working is the stupidest thing that would never go through my head.
Right.
Like, that is the most backwards thing to think that you hate somebody enough to go after them personally.
Wait. Remember, I'm not relevant.
Okay, but anyways, as I was saying, that you hate somebody enough to go after them personally to try to get them fired, but you're too much of a bitch to say anything to them baffles me. Because even as a woman who I guess should be, more docile? I don't know. I still would not do something like that. I would never think to go after. If I hate you that much, first off, you're going to know, because I'm going to have told you that I hate you that much. I'm just going to say how I feel about you in any forum which I choose to, whether that be social media, a podcast, sending you a message, a phone call. I don't care. Like, I just say what I feel. I would never think, I'm going to go to this person's job and I'm going to tell HR something about them. That's the dumbest thing in the world.
It's seriously, it's the dumbest. It is the dumbest shit. And I will tell you this. I hope you. I know you'll listen. I know your people will listen at UW. Yeah. I know you do, because you do. Anytime I mention anything that involves your product, you're listening. Your ears to the freaking speakers, everything. For someone that's not very relevant, you're making me very relevant. Right. But nonetheless, I hope your wife and your kids are listening to this too, because I want you to explain to them why you're not a man, why you can't quote unquote defend your turf like a man. You gotta go like a little bitch. And don't think I didn't see that comment you made about being a positive influence to my children or whatever like that. First of all, motherfucker, you don't know a damn thing about what I am outside of the entertainment persona, okay? So, before you start getting yourself into areas that you just can't get out of, if you've already dug yourself 6 feet deep, if you're gonna, before you dig yourself another 6 feet, stop, think about it. Terry, reach out to me. Be a man. I noticed you've unblocked me on Facebook. That's awesome, because I tagged you and I wanted you to see that thing. I'm giving you, again, the opportunity, if you want this to stop. PJ Hansen, Billy Fox, if you want this shit to stop with your friend there too, tell him to grow a set of balls and come talk to me. I am not that hard to find. I am not that hard to get a hold of. Quit being a bitch, Terry Cadillac. You piece of shit. Well, and they clearly, none of them, I shouldn't say it, but to me it seems like none of them wanted to stop. I don't know anything about PJ Hansen. I have no clue what he's doing, but I've seen for myself posts that the other ones have made with your name coming out of their mouth. But they want it to stop. They want it to stop. They want it to stop, but they'll keep it going. But they can't stop. They'll keep it going. Right. They'll keep it going with their here's some other nobody's talking about Billy Fox. Right. You don't see us over here talking about Billy Fox. No. But he feels the need to get involved in something that has nothing to do with him. Now there was two things. Like, every time Billy Fox talks or tries to insult, I just want to give him a hug for trying. Because he's so horrible at it. Like, on top of the fact that he's not really a very good wrestler, he's very, very horrible at insults. Here was his two big insults to me, or his two big things, like his I'm gonna show JC moments. I'll shut him up by telling him, oh, there was this one time that he told Cryptic that he doesn't tap out. Yeah, anybody who was around that part in time knew I was just being a dick. Even if that was something you said, I don't that's the best you could come like everybody up with? And then recently, here's this one. Apparently, I paid for Jimmy Snuka. Yeah, right. Yeah, I opened up my wallet at the time in 2007. Mind you, I was broke as shit. But apparently, I opened up my wallet and paid Jimmy Snuka. Here's the real story to that one, Fox, because you claim to know everything, but you're, if you were any slower, you know what? I'm uncensored, but I'll leave that joke aside. But here's the true story. Okay, here's the real story. Johnny Swift was not paying people. NEW was not paying people at that time because they were taking the money that they probably should have been paying their local talent with and going and trying to expand and bringing in bigger names. That's why we had LAX and Tito Santana and and Jimmy Snuka and all these different former WWE names, you know, Bart and Alex Shelley and Johnny Devine and all these other people. You know, they were using the money for that. People were complaining that, you know, the house was light or the house was lighter than it normally was. So in an effort to take the heat off of Swift, and because I was working Jimmy Snuka, I said, just tell him I paid for Snuka. I don't care. But I never actually paid for Snuka. Everybody knew that. Everybody knew, except for Fox, clearly. So he tried to use that one on me, too. Fox, I'm going to tell you this, since you're such a UW blowhard. Why don't you do me a favor and really dig down deep and fact-check things about me, and come at me when you have something that is credible, that is relevant, and that makes sense. Otherwise, shut the fuck up and just sit there and take your stupid little bookings for pizza that Terry gives you. You clearly look like you've been eating a lot of it anyway, so, you know, there's that. And then PJ, I like you. You're misguided. You were Batman. But you're back to being that now. My gripe really is with Terry. It's really not with the Foxes of the world, because I feel bad, you know, that he tries so hard and he sucks and he falls flat on his face. And PJ, I have nothing. I got nothing but love for PJ. Honestly, he's always been nice to me. He's always been good to me. I've got no problem with him. My problem, 110%, is Terry Cadillac. So again, I will say this: Terry, do me a favor, get in touch with me. I will give you the number. You can air your grievances out here. And if you don't want me to release it, that's fine. But I just want to understand why the hell you would do something so stupid. That's all. And fuck you.
All right then.
Okay. So we'll actually begin this podcast now after the commercial break. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Get Ready America on the Gear Radio Network.
You know, I'm often asked about the logos of the show and Gear Network and everything. It comes to me, JC, where do you get the designs, the cool designs for the show and everything? And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to tell everybody right now, right here, you heard it here, it is Indie Card Media. Indie Card Media is a local business that specializes in making quality designs for your website or your business. Whatever you do, they can do it. If you need proof, you can look at all of our logos, or you can go to facebook.com/IndieCardMedia to see all of the designs, which include a political banner, because they've done political banners, and I mean everything. Nothing is off limits with them. Give Eric a shout at IndieCardMafia@gmail.com, and he will help you bring your design to life. Tell him Gear Network sent you, and hey, he may hook you up with a little something, or at least a smile, because you heard it here. But go to Indie Card Media Facebook. Again, facebook.com/IndieCardMedia. Do it now. Bring your designs to life. Hey, Gear guys and gals. Do you hear that song in the background? Yes, that, my friends, is You Are Undeniable by Mos Def featuring Marvin Gaye, and I purchased that from my iPhone using Gear Network on iTunes. That's right. iTunes is not only a destination for our podcast, but now you can go there for all your app, music, podcast, and video needs. Anything you want from the App Store, you can get via the Gear Network iTunes connection. Here's what you do. Go to GearNetwork.com and click on Support the Shows and click on the iTunes link. It will take you to our page, and you'll be able to access iTunes from there and make your purchases as you normally would. The difference is Apple throws us a little something to help with the productions when you purchase through the Gear Store, and this has helped keep the podcast free and independent. Again, that's GearNetwork.com, and don't forget the Amazon page as well to shop for the iPod or iPhone to play these apps on. One more time, that's GearNetwork.com. Check out all our other shows on the Gear Network as well while you are there.
From the Gear Network studios, once again, here's John and Dawn.
Welcome back to Get Ready America, everybody, here on the Gear Radio Network. And all right, let's get to talking. Dawn, first of all, thank you again for letting me vent about that stupid stupid crap. But all right, let's move right along to the next stupid subject here. The Republican debate recently was couple of days ago now at this point. It was on the Fox News network. An interesting story was that the Republican frontrunner, Donald Trump, boycotted the debate this time because of the fact that he and Fox analyst Megyn Kelly did not get along at all. He felt Megyn Kelly was treating him unfairly, blah, 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 McDonald, whatever. So the debate went on, and of course there were a lot of Jesus and Hillary Clinton references, and, the guns were brought up again, and all the, stereotypical bullshit that the Republicans, throw out there. No real issues. It was done in Iowa. The Iowa caucuses are very soon. They're going to be voting pretty much on who advances to the next primaries. ABC reportedly has the next Republican presidential debate. That is in a few weeks. Donald Trump said flat out that he wouldn't appear on that unless ABC got rid of a sponsor that was sponsoring that because they had unfavorable things to say about Donald Trump. I can't remember exactly what the name of the newspaper was. I can look that up in a minute, but apparently ABC caved. So Donald Trump is going to be on that one. But Dawn, your thoughts on the whole Republican? You're not following it as intensely as I am, but the whole Republican thing, like, is that just? Are they a complete party of dunces now at this point? What's going on? What's your take from the outside looking in?
Well, the problem really is Donald Trump. He's making a complete joke, a huge spectacle of this election so far, and it's really kind of disgusting at this point. It was funny for a while, but not it's kind of gotten to like a Terry Cadillac stupidity kind of level at this point. Like, it is just so dumb.
Can anything get that dumb? I mean, Donald Trump has said some ridiculously stupid things, but I mean, Terry's a whole nother level of stupid.
But it is really just completely a circus right now. Such a joke. It's difficult to take seriously at all. I really hope that he just does not make it any further. That is my only hope at this point, because, well, sometimes he says some things that I think are somewhat valid. He is by no means capable of running this country and doing it in any way that's going to help this country improve.
I guess my thing is that if he can't handle Megyn Kelly, how in the blue hell is he going to handle ISIS, those assholes?
And it's not just Megyn Kelly, it's anybody. Anybody who says anything negative about him, he has some kind of derogatory remark that he makes about them.
Right.
But he never comes back and
I'd rather a derogatory remark than someone call HR.
But I mean, he did try to get her taken off.
He did.
He did. I mean, I guess there are people who do stuff like that. But nevertheless, I mean, every single time that's what he does. He never comes back with a fact as to why that person, like, for instance, Megyn Kelly, shouldn't be on there. Other than just, because she's on the rag? Is that the problem? I mean, I don't understand.
I think that was the reference that I think he made the first time. But not actually on the rag, but he said something to the effect of blood coming out of ears or mouth or wherever.
Exactly. That's what it was.
Which obviously that was a dig on her having her period or whatever the hell. But
and it's the same every time. He never says anything with actual fact to back it up. He just throws insults at people. And then after he throws insults, he tries to bulk on it and say how that's not really what he was saying or really what he meant. That's not how he feels.
That's really what a lot of them do. And I looked at everybody on that stage, and thank God Carly Fiorina wasn't on there anymore, because she's just... I mean... Ben Carson is not qualified to be on that stage at all, but damn if Carly Fiorina is either. But I'm looking at these candidates here, and there is not one single candidate on that stage that I think could do a good job in office. The only one out of all of those that I see having a slight chance would be Marco Rubio.
I'm really not sure, to be honest, because I don't feel like enough attention has been really given to the candidates to say. It's like everything has just, in the media, everywhere, even during the debates, everything kind of circles around this big joke in the election of Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton. It's just...
Well, yeah. I mean, you've got Chris Christie there, who's like about 700 pounds, and Hillary Clinton comes out of his...
I don't care how much he weighs.
Just setting a scene here, but Hillary Clinton comes out of his mouth at least 40 times an answer. You know, you've got Ted Cruz, who is almost on the level of Donald Trump. He's not as wacky, but he's up there. You got Ben Carson, who's both a brain surgeon and a head case. I don't understand how he's even there or got as far as he did when he has absolutely no political experience, which may not necessarily be the worst thing, but he has no wherewithal, I think, to deal with anything other than, you know, brain surgery or being a head case. Marco Rubio, I'm very indifferent on the guy, because he carries himself very well. Mm-hmm. He seems educated enough, but I think he is the kind of personality that's afraid to go out of the box and will kind of stick because he wants people to vote for him. He wants people to like him. I think he would cater to the big businesses and the super PACs that support him. And then you've got, who else? Jeb Bush, who wants another Bush in office, you know? Besides maybe George W. Bush, because he wants to be the second worst. He doesn't want to be the first worst Bush in that it's taken office. But I mean, top to bottom from that in the Republican side, there's really not anybody that jumps out as me as being presidential. John Kasich maybe, but he's not. He's so irrelevant at this point. That he's not even gonna make it past the caucuses. So. Yeah, it's really going to boil down to, I think Donald Trump and Ted Cruz are going to be the two Republican frontrunners, and that's kind of a scary thing.
Well, it is when you're talking about one of the frontrunners on the Democratic side being Hillary Clinton. Then
she should not even be allowed to run.
She shouldn't. I mean, really, I cannot, for the life of me, understand how she is allowed in this election right now. Everything swirling around her, that she is allowed to run for president right now.
She's not only is she allowed to run for president, but the media is behind her. The Republicans all seem to think that she's going to be the one that they're running against. And if they've checked the polls recently, Bernie Sanders has actually surpassed her now, and Bernie Sanders is the Democratic front runner. Whether or not that holds up, I'm not sure. But
how is there not more of an issue over these emails? That whole situation, I don't understand how that's not a bigger issue, especially now that they're talking about the fact that there's a lot of classified things that they're unwilling to release that were being discussed in the email. Right.
I think they're holding out hope that. Honestly, I think they're holding out hope that Bernie Sanders will win, and then they don't have to address it. They don't have to deal with it at all. Right. Because if Hillary Clinton wins, whomever's on the Republican side is going to be like, hey, guess what? Why aren't these released? Why aren't, what's going on here? And then they're going to have to answer to that, and they don't want to do that. So I think, and it's very stupid, she should have just put everything out in the open right in the beginning, and then if everybody decided to choose her, then at least the knowledge is out there. Okay, great. We need to move on and we need to do what we need to do. They're not doing that. And it's kind of weird. Like, this is the weirdest presidential election I've ever sat through.
I think what we're really seeing is a result of a lot of people who have now decided to step up to the plate and begin to vote, yet be very uneducated about the political systems, the people running. They're not taking the time to actually learn about the candidates. They're just picking one based off media, what they're seeing in mainstream media. They're picking the face that attracts them
That's
most.
Why Donald Trump is in the lead right now, because he's saying so many outrageous things that people are laughing at it, and, oh, he's funny. I'll vote for him.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's interesting. I'm following it even more now that the year has switched over to 2016. So guess what? Get ready, America. We're marching to the primaries. We're marching to the presidential election. Oh, speaking of marching forward, how about Sarah Palin being endorsing Donald Trump now?
Yeah, well, that's definitely who you want behind you.
Yes, imagine that. All right, so good talk there, Dawn. We're going to go ahead. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, the most popular news segment of all the news segments in all the podcasting world. Dawn's news you may or may not be able to use. This is Get Ready America, and it is right here on the Gear Radio Network. Hey, Dawn, how's it going?
Living the dream. I'm actually just getting ready to do this commercial.
Oh, you mean the commercial where I tell our listeners to tune into Gear Network every week to listen to our show, Get Ready America? That one?
Yeah, John, that's the one.
They can also listen to us talk about news, sports, whatever's on our minds, that...
And a little what's on our listeners' minds, but they're just too nice to say it.
Well, that, Dawn, is a real humdinger.
Humdinger.
Come join us this and every week for Get Ready America exclusively on the Gear Radio Network.
And the Gear Network app.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I am Ryan Wolf.
it's Mr. Perez.
And I have a question for you, Perez.
What's your question?
Do you like to listen to people talk about sports?
No. Of course I like sports and listening to people talk about sports.
Well, guess what? I have the perfect solution for
You
you.
have a solution for me?
There's a podcast
Okay.
on this very network.
This network?
Every single week you can hear it.
Really?
New content, latest and breaking news. We talk about baseball, football, hockey, basketball, soccer, UFC, whatever you want to talk about.
So sports in general.
They talk about sports in general. You got
Okay.
it.
I like
you
it.
know the dictionary.
I like
very,
it.
Very proud of you.
Thank you.
I must say, tune in. We are better live than dead.
You're not.
Every single week. You're not going to want to miss it. Exclusively here on the Gear Radio Network.
From the Gear Network studios, once again, here's John and Dawn.
Welcome back to Get Ready America, everybody here in the Gear Radio Network. Hey, really quickly, we talked about wrestling earlier. Are you interested in being a pro wrestler? If you are, our friend Mark House runs a school. It is the Kayfabe Dojo. And if you want more information on it, go to Mark House's Facebook page. It is facebook.com/themarkhouse. Shoot him a message if you want to make your dream a reality of becoming a professional wrestler that is not like Terry Cadillac. Give Mark House a shout, and he will train you and get you done very well. Okay, so now with that being said, real quick before we
That's the second time that you just said real quick and keep putting off my new segment.
but baby, we have unlimited time. I own this network, honey, or we own this network.
Mm-hmm.
We're the Gear CEO. What about all the deaths so far in 2016?
Don't make me steal your network, by the way.
What about all the deaths in 2016?
What about all the deaths?
Isn't it just? It seems like it's every week. It's somebody. It's crazy. I mean, obviously people die all the time, but a lot of high name people are passing. But kind of weird. Okay. Well, are you ready, Dawn?
Sure.
I can't hear you.
I mean, I was ready, and then you kept putting me off. Now I'm not even sure I want to do this podcast anymore.
Oh, that's perfect, because it is time for Dawn's news you may or may not be able to use. Dawn, the stage is yours.
One funny thing I want to mention first.
Okay.
When I was looking at news, trying to find different news stories,
Okay.
and I just happened to come across, it's a sex toy, and I wasn't even going to really talk about it because it's just very difficult to even talk about them anymore. But I came across one, and it was called the Nut Crusher, and I was very confused by this because I don't understand who would use this product. So basically, it looks like this contraption that it kind of reminds me of maybe like a wine cork opener or something. I don't know. Like you screw the top, and it ends up opening up the bottom, and apparently you then put your testicle inside of this, and then you screw it again to close it and essentially crush your nuts. So it's called the Nut Crusher.
What the hell?
Right.
Why?
I don't know. And I'm like, nobody uses this. This isn't a real thing. It doesn't make sense, right? Why would anybody use it? So I wasn't going to talk about it.
Okay.
But then we opened with the segment about Terry. And I thought,
Okay.
That's who would use it. That's the kind of person who would use it.
It all makes sense
so
now.
I thought, well, I'll put it out there because we all know he's going to listen to this podcast.
Yep. Yeah,
so
you are.
This one's for you. If you want to look it up, you might be interested in it.
Oh, dear God. Oh, hell no. I mean, for you, Terry, go ahead. But for me, hell no. Hell no. Hell no.
But now I'm going to get into the real news.
Okay, thank you.
So police were called to a reported possible domestic dispute.
Where was this?
I don't know. John, it was somewhere. I don't think it was Florida, so it's really irrelevant as to where it was. So wherever it was, police were called to this dispute because the neighbors reported that they heard a man shouting, "I'm going to kill you," followed by a woman screaming, and what sounded like furniture being, thrown and pounding, things like that.
Okay.
So when police arrived, the man answered the door, and they asked the man if they could speak to his wife or girlfriend, and the man reportedly looked baffled and replied that he did not have a wife or a girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
So police then explained the reason for their visit, saying that neighbors reported that, again, they heard screaming, they heard somebody yelling that they were going to kill you. And the man then said that actually he has a terrible fear of spiders. And there was a huge spider in his apartment that he was trying to get with a can of insect spray. And he was yelling at the spider that he was going to kill it. But then when he went to kill it, he got scared and started screaming and started running around, knocking stuff over in his apartment, trying to get this spider.
Okay.
So police said that they actually did go through and search his house and verified the only thing that they found dead was the spider. So that made me laugh because really it sounded like a woman screaming. And oftentimes my son Matt sounds like a woman screaming when he gets scared of something. So that one kind of made me laugh.
Yeah, that's quite funny.
Now, a husband and wife were on vacation in Grenada. I'm not sure how that was pronounced. Sorry, but whatever.
Tomato.
They were walking along the beach just around noon.
Why do you still have the Nut Crusher showing right there? It just randomly lit up, and there it is. The Nut Crusher is right there.
I'll turn that off.
Thank you very much.
I was just trying to order that, but I'll take care of it later.
Ship it to the Lions Community Center.
Yeah, apparently they have no problem with what this guy is doing.
Yeah.
But anyways, okay. So they were walking along the beach, and a man jumped out at them with a machete.
Oh, okay.
And began to attack them. The husband fled to go get help for them. And when he returned, his wife was missing. So they later found the woman dead in the same area of beach, just in a wooded area. And it was reported that she was attacked with a machete. The man had a machete. She was sexually assaulted and died of both asphyxia or a skull fracture. Yet the man escaped uninjured.
Sounds.
I'm having a really difficult time with this story.
It's a bit of a conspiracy story.
I cannot imagine a situation in which the husband would run off to go try to get help, leaving his wife behind with a man that is attacking her with a machete.
Yeah, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I can't imagine doing that at all. At all. I would probably be the one to tell you to go get help.
How is this man not dead alongside his wife?
Right.
I don't understand, and I can't...
Think it was a setup?
I don't know if it's a setup or the guy's just a pussy. I have no idea, but either way, that's totally disgraceful.
All right,
and
now
disgusting.
let me ask you something. Last name wasn't Cadillac, was it?
No.
Okay.
I don't know. That story really bothered me.
Yeah, that's
I
not
can't,
that's...
At first, I was like, "Oh, was the husband involved in it?" But I don't think he probably was. I think he just was so scared that he ran off and left his wife there. Right? I don't know. Either way,
that's pretty shitty.
That one amazed me, so I just had to report on that because I was curious if that was to happen. Are there any other men who listen to this podcast that love their wives or girlfriends, I should say.
Right.
That would run away to go get help and leave them defenseless on the beach with a crazy guy with a machete so they could go get help.
Right. Yeah. That's not good at all. Not good. Not cool. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. So that's all the news that I have.
That's all?
That's all I got.
Oh, wow.
I know,
right.
I'm sorry. Should I have more?
No. I think
the Trump
it's good.
stories and really have that or any political stuff to talk about now because we've discussed all of that.
All right.
So that's all I got.
Fair enough. Well, you know what? It's good to get the podcast out and get back into the swing of things. You know what I mean?
Right. And you took a long time discussing Terry Cadillac, so I feel like we'll just leave the podcast centered around that because that's really the main focus of this podcast today is to talk about that. And not only would I like to hear from him and what he has to say, but anybody else that likes to defend him, I would love to hear why they can defend that situation. I really would like to hear that.
I can't imagine that anybody would be dumb enough to defend what he did.
Right. And then I'm sure that I'll now be under fire, like something about JC's wife will now come out.
Well,
and
the thing
fine.
is JC's wife could probably beat 3/4 of their asses out there, and then I can handle the other
way
quarter.
that they are. I mean, they're just dirty like that.
Yeah,
so
you know what?
it's fine with me.
They are, for as much as they say I'm irrelevant, and
you're so irrelevant that they all listen to hear what you're saying so they can talk shit about it and say how you're irrelevant.
I've always said this, and I said it the last time, and I'm going to say it again. They are fans.
Right.
That's all they are, is they are fans, and I thank you for being fans. And you know what? Traditionally, when we close out the show, I use the instrumental for Earth, Wind, and Fire's In the Stone, but I think it's appropriate to close out using this song here by the one and only Macho Man Randy Savage. And let's see if I could get that going here. Oh, nope, that's the wrong song. All right, let's try it again. Be a man.
See, now this is the one that I always envision as being your theme song for the podcast.
The Way I Am?
Right.
Eminem?
Yes.
Well,
I think that should become your theme song for the podcast.
Okay. The Way That I Am? I Am, whatever. Oh, yes. I remember that song now. All right. Well, Dawn, thank you very much for all the contributions, of course. And let's do this again next week, shall we?
We may.
We may?
We may.
We will, because you know what? We have to get Ready America back out there, Get Ready America is
out there.
It's my favorite show.
Sure.
All right. This is... Oh, wait, hold on. You're running from JC, that's what I heard. Terry.
That really did just happen.
That's right. Hey, you can come... You know what? The best counter to shindies is comedy. That's what it is. All right, this is a copyrighted podcast of the Gear Radio Network. Any rebroadcast or reproduction without the express written permission of the Gear Radio Networks is strictly prohibited. New Football Talk Weekly coming next week. We're going to talk about the Super Bowl. Better Live Than Dead is brand new. If you have not listened to it yet, go back and listen to it because it is good. Good stuff. Misguided Music is coming soon. Get Ready America coming back next week. Talking Wrestling in 2 weeks. Good Lord! We are back. Dawn, good day to you.
Good day to you.
Thank you very much. And
You're welcome.
So long, everybody.
Good night now.
Be a man, Hogan. Come on, don't be scared. You're running from macho, that's what I heard. Be a man, Hogan. Come on, don't be a chump. I never thought help would go wild like a pump. Be a man, Hogan. Come on, don't be scared. You're running from macho, that's what I heard. Be a man, Hogan. Boy, you's a chump. Cause Hulk Hogan is a real big pump. Be a man, Hogan. Come on, don't.
The preceding presentation has been brought to you by the Gear Network.